Time for yet another one of these. It's another box of books. Um, Man, I really do have a lot of books. I finally got some magazine holders though, so I figured I would continue. It's actually been a few days since I did the last one. What I found is that unpacking is obviously the easiest part, and then figuring out what I'm going to do with everything is a little bit harder. The good news is that I now have enough. Oops! I now have enough shelving, so I should be able to find a place for everything. Although I am starting to look at buying a place again, so it's entirely possible that I will unpack everything and then have to pack it up again. But you know what? That doesn't concern me so much. This is a good exercise in any case, just to sort of figure out what I have and where I am and what I am, in a sense. By the way, I haven't mentioned this, but if you see anything that you think is interesting and you want me to go into some more, I think after all these things are unpacked, I'm going to start doing like deep dives, because some of these things are kind of historically interesting, maybe to people, but I won't know what is unless you say. So do let me know. All right. Oh, this one looks like it's going to be a lot of stuff that basically is me. So that's kind of fun. I mean, for me anyway. All right. This is something that I did for lynda.com back when they were doing DVDs as well as online. It was one of the first things I did for them, and I've had a very productive relationship with them for the last 15 years. I think I might have mentioned this because I have some other ones of these. I wrote this book in about a month. I got my advance. I'm actually quite proud of how it turned out. I think it's pretty good writing, in my opinion. Whereas not everything that I've done, I would say, is true. These are, I think, just open, empty cases, maybe some backups or something. Although I do tend to label my backups. More books, more of this. Yep, and here's one of the other things that I did. Didn't turn out quite as well, but no need talking about it. Ooh, all old business cards. This is something that I could probably go into for hours, because every one of these, and all of these different colors, all these different designs is a different part of my life. Like this is right after I left Mac Week, I think, because it says Reviews Consulting. The idea was that I would use the experience I had gained from being a reviews editor at Mac Week to help advise companies on how to improve their products and so on. That never went anywhere, unfortunately. No, so many cards. I mean, I'll just show a few of them. I used this one for quite a while. I rather like that. It's a few here from when I was a real estate agent. I worked for 3 different agencies during my fairly brief time. If anyone's in San Francisco, they're like, oh, yeah, I know them. I worked doing training on software for Fidelity National Financial. That was fun. I got to travel around California, spend a week or 2 in different offices. I love jobs that have me travel. I was a notary in California, also in Ohio, although I never used it there. I had some generic cards that I used for many years. Oh, wow, look at that. There's my Mac Week card. And this is kind of fun, actually. I started an English school together with, I helped finance an English school called Academy of English in San Francisco. And we had a really nice office. It was right next to, it was at 4th and Market, right next to Ross. I forget the name of the building, but yeah, that was kind of fun, although I lost a lot of money. Basically, that's what put me in debt. I was doing public relations, and I did pretty well for several months with Bandwidth PR, because it was at a time when tech companies were leaving their big agencies. It was basically just before the dot-com crash, or right around the dot-com crash. They weren't getting the revenues that they had. So they were leaving their big agencies where they had to spend $20,000, $30,000 a month just as a retainer, just against future work. And they were going with small boutique agencies, which included me. This was my card when I was at GCI Group, which was just before Bandwidth PR. It's a part of Gray Advertising. I was a senior account executive. This was 98, right after I left the magazine, after I left Mac Week. And a big part of my value was that I had worked in tech publishing. And so I knew people and I had a pretty good sense of how to reach them and what they were interested in and so on. I'm trying to remember. I forget if Bandwidth PR or if Silicon Valley PR came first. I think Bandwidth did, and I sold that to someone. It's complicated. It doesn't really matter. I never got paid for it either. I like this card. It works the same as my website. That is, I had the same design with the tabs on it, which involved using a lot of like invisible spacer GIFs, as one does in 1998. This was a temporary card when I moved, and someone pointed out, Tom, after like having it in my pocket for a day, I started to get what looked like skin disease on, why am I not zooming in on these actually? There we go. Yeah, so that's me with skin disease. And just so people see, there's that card and that card, and you don't have to see all of them, I guess, but I'm pretty proud. All right, what else? I like business cards, and I need to make a new one. This was from my short time with Acquia, Drupal. Oops, where's the focus? Drupal company. It was not a good match, honestly, for various reasons, and I quit, and that was a good choice. So, okay, business cards. I won't go into as much detail for the rest of this because, as I say, it's a lot of stuff, and I think that covers my history pretty well. Graphics. Oh yeah, this guy used my picture on his card. That was actually used for, I was a member of the Musicians Union, even though I didn't really use it. I went to their jams once a month and stuff like that, but I never, was working as a musician, as a union musician. But I was working as a real estate agent at the same time, and I thought, I'll place an ad in the union newsletter, and that's what I did. Oh wow, this was at a party with my partner of the time. Just make sure I've got focus going there. Bring it back a bit. Yeah, man, they had some wild ass parties. This was probably 2000? No, it would have been earlier. It would have been like the mid-90s, mid-late 90s. So it was not the height of the boom, but it was pretty high up there. Yeah, 1997. Picture with a... It was all Roman style excess. That was a woman dressed up as a mermaid who sat there and had pictures taken. A picture that was published in Fat Girl. I was the only male contributor to that. You know what? I'm not going to go through all the pictures. I'm not going to go through all of them. I'll just see if there's anything worth mentioning. Oh, wow. Lots of pictures from the 1990 Conference on Bisexuality. Was this the one this must have been the one in San Francisco. And that is Lorraine Hutchins, Lani Kahumanu, Fritz Klein, Oliver Scholem, he's dead now, Ariba Weiss. She was a very good writer. And of course me. Yes, that is, in fact, me at the age of 22, 23, when I had more hair, when my hair was thicker. If you want to go back even further, here's me kissing the Blarney Stone at the age of 8. Wearing my baseball jacket. What else? Kissing the Blarney Stone. Niece and nephew. Early Java foo. That would have been like around the same time, 95, 96 or so. And that was the Java mascot. I was at the conference where they announced Java. I think it was 95, possibly Macworld. This is me signing books after my 1990 book on bisexuality came out. That was at the bookstore in Berkeley. I forget what it was called. Oh, it was 23, fairly thin. I rather like my body the way it is now, to be honest. It suits me better. More photos. Again, this is something that could be an entire study in and of itself. I mean, I'm definitely going to be spending time in there. Oh man, so much stuff. My senior recital at University of Cincinnati's Conservatory. Oops. Various photos. Basically, it's photos and videos, which could go on forever. I'm going to really enjoy looking through all this, though. I don't think there's anything else loose that's worth pulling out from here. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be going through it, that's for sure. And I have to figure out how best to store this since I don't have a filing cabinet. But that's it. Lots of memories in there.